Fiat 500 door handle, very common problem. The door handles like to break off right here at this juncture. So we're gonna replace that today. First thing we gotta do is pop off this door panel. Best thing to use are the plastic trim tool kits. If you don't have that, you can use a flathead screwdriver. It just might dent or break the plastic. You've got this guy right here. Should just pop right off and slides off like that. Holds on. And then you got this little hidden compartment here. Just pops right out. And then you've got 3 bolts, 1, 2, and then 1 in there. Yep. Looks like it's gonna be this little piece right here, and that's gonna be a size H5. You're gonna need an extension set just to get all the way in here. Make sure it's going the right way. I have one right here, some people don't. This is just a regular screw. And then there is another screw down here. This one doesn't have one in it because I know this panel has been removed before. So it's missing a screw there. But otherwise, it looks like it's ready to be popped up. You can take your trim tool and just kind of jimmy it under there a little bit and then give it a twist and it'll start popping it off. And then you can get your fingers in there and gently pull. And I mean gently. If it starts being too firm, that means you probably still have something keeping it attached to the door frame. And if you keep pulling, you're gonna break it. So gently pull, and everything should pop right off. Now we need to disconnect locking mechanism. So inside here, you've got a little connector piece with a ball on it. So we need to pop this out. And then there's a red connector here that we need to swing out. Comes off that way and then just pulls right out. And then you've got your electrical connector right here, and you just squeeze this to get it out, and that's it. So inside of these little Fiats, you have this little styrofoam cover. This is an insulator for sound because these little tiny cars, they're not very soundproof. So you hear a lot of ambient noises like from the road. So it's helped keep some of that sound down, and it's also weatherproof so that the rain doesn't get inside your vehicle and keeps the cold out a little bit. Obviously this has been worked on before, so we're gonna gently remove the previous tape. And this is just held on by a tacky substance. If you've never worked on it before, like this. When you remove it for the first time, it most likely will not stick again, hence why the duct tape is here, because this window was replaced recently. Some people will cut a little window out here, and then you just tape up that little window to get to the door handle itself, but they had to get to the window regulator, which means you had to get to the whole thing. So we're just gonna go ahead and not cut any more holes into this poor little styrofoam piece. I do recommend, if you're removing it for the first time, you get a little box cutter and just gently cut away at it so that you don't start to tear the styrofoam like that. And so just gently start cutting it and you'll get it through. And that should be all the space that we need for the door handle. So these metal rods right here, can you see that? Or do I need to find? Go ahead. Okay, so the door handle is being held on by this bolt right here, and then there's one on the outside. But we've also have these. You can see this right here, kind of, sort of. There. So there's this rod and the one right behind it that are held for the door handle to open the door and the locking mechanism. So there's a little tab right there. You just flip like we did when we removed the door panel itself. Flip the plastic connector piece and pull the rod right out. Alright, so we got those little plastic connectors off. We did have to remove this very front metal piece. It just pops right out because we're going to have to reuse this on the new handle that comes in. Now we're going to remove the bolt that's on the inside. It is a 10mm. Do it the rest of the way, that way we don't lose it. And then we will do this one, which appears to be T25. T25. Now, in order to get the handle out, you have to pull out on the handle so that it flattens out the inside piece, and then wiggle it loose. Alright, so you gotta pull this end out first, and then Ta-da! Phew! Alright, that's the old one. So, this is the old one, so we are going to have to remove the locking mechanism and put it in the new handle so that the key still works. So inside, on the underside of the handle, is a metal ring right in there that we're going to have to pop out with a hook so that the lock will come out. We don't need to save that because there's a new one in the new door handle, but we do need to get it out in order to get the locking mechanism. We're going to need the key. And I'm going to take my hook. I'm going to turn the key so that I can see the little thingy in there. Just get my hook in there. Woo! And it goes flying. And then you should be able to just, you gotta twist it a little bit so you can get a bite to it, and then it pops right out.
Look at that.
This is very old, so some of the gaskets are a little worn out. Okay. New door handle, but the plastic's still on. Remove this piece so that we can get to the hole. Same concept, it just goes right in, and then just give it a little push, and it clicks right in, and now it's ready to go. That's it, that's all there is to it. Like I said, there's a brand new little metal thing all greased up and ready to go, so you don't have to do anything else. That's it, that's easy as that. Okay, now we're gonna install it. Oh, and then this is that piece that was broken off. So now it's not broken off anymore. So as you can see, this sticks up, right? So the reason we open the door handle is because it flattens out. So we're gonna flatten it out. Insert this in. Make sure that this is firmly clipped before you try to do anything with it. Okay. Alright, so pull the handle out so that this little piece flattens out. Insert your rod. Insert this end piece. And finagle your way into the hole. Gotta get through that little piece there. Whoop. Alright, give it a good little whack, and then it should slide back to your original outline. Okay, so let's put some bolts to loosely hold it in place, and then we'll make our final adjustments. Bolt first, the 10mm. We'll loosely put it on. The T25 bolt next. hand tightening first. Try this. Sometimes the screwing in will help align it a little bit better. Again, just hand tighten. I felt it kind of do a little shifting to help align it a little bit. There we go. Nice and snug. Don't want to over tighten it. And then, as you can see, the door handle is nice and snug around the door, making it waterproof. Alright, now we're going to come back on the inside and retighten this 10mm bolt. Next, we are going to reattach our rods. Yep. So we still have the one that's attached from the door handle. We're gonna insert it into the red clip on the inside of your door. This piece with the little notch on the top goes in the very top with the door handle, and this one goes down at the bottom with the black latch. Ready? Alright, so this is the top with the notch on it. It's going to go right in that red hole and push until you feel it click. And then it's going to go down here to the black piece. You can't really see. It goes in the hole right there, and then pop that into place to secure it. And that's the front one. The back one was a little red piece that's the exact same thing, and this rod is what was attached to the door handle when we inserted it. Door handle locks or unlocks. Locked. And with every new door handle, it's going to be a little stiff until you use it a few times. And that's it. We changed out the locking mechanism, so this should still work just fine. Ta-da! Yay! So now we're going to put the internal door handle or door panel back on in reverse order of when we took it off. And it's good to go. We are going to sound barrier, waterproof barrier back on. This is a good time to find you some duct tape if your sticky stuff doesn't work, and duct tape any holes. That way you continue to have soundproofing and weatherproofing in your car. So, make sure you reattach anything that was attached. So we're going to do the electrical plug first. There we go. Right there. Stick it right back in and click. And then here, this is the same kind of lock that was on the inside, where you stick it in and then you just lock it in place. We're going to do this. Insert, swivel this to lock it in the hole, and then this goes right there and push until it locks into place. And then for all door panels, sorry, you're going to pull it up over the lip of the window should settle, and then all of your plastic trim pieces should line up with the hole. Very gently tap the edges so it goes in. And there you go. Now we're just going to reattach the screw that was here on the 3 bolts and put the trim pieces back on and we're all done. You also know when your door panel's in the right spot because the bolt holes line up with the pre-drilled spots on the actual door frame itself.
Exactly. That's what I put on there. And wrench.
Also, don't recommend using a power drill because you're prone to over tightening and breaking something. These should all be done by hand.
That's just good advice.
Mechanics, tips and tricks.
Mechanics.
Hand tight. Then we're going to do the regular type screw on the side here. The plugs in my face. I think I'm so sweet. Left-handed.
But here you are, killing it.
Alright, I think that's right. Alright. Nice and firm. Pop them off. Once you get your nicely covered pieces. And just match up the grooves. There. Pops in. And this guy. Let's make sure they're all in their holes. Pops right into place.